The code review and demo for Project 5. I'll start off with the code review and we will go from server-side code to client-side. So here I have my semester and courses class. Instead of using an integer for the ID, I ended up having to use a GUID, a globally unique ID. This is because the MongoDB is a database that stores documents and not objects. And these documents each have an ID, which is usually a GUID. So by setting the ID to a tag bson ID, I can reference documents that way. There are two additional things to note here as well. The first thing is in the case of courses class, the courses have a dependency on semesters, so that's why it has a second GUID, the semester ID. The second is capitalization. Trying to debug this took a very long time because in my Chrome browser, what it does is it takes each property in a class and uses the toLower function on them. So if I try to use the C# convention of capitalizing the first letter in each property, I get errors and it does not work. So to run this on a different machine, you may have to check the case of the letter by pasting the root API semester/get semesters command in your command line. Okay, so moving on to DB context. This class has a private instance of the iMongo database called DB, and it has a constructor that takes a single string as a parameter. That string is the name of the database. MongoDB does not require that you declare a database before you use it, so this is the function that will create a collection. Oh, here's the constructor. The insert semester takes two parameters and the table two parameters, the table and the object being put into the table. It uses the insert function, and any of the functions that has a Boolean return type could be void, but I needed a return type so that I could use OK semesters in my semester EC file, which is right here. So a lot of this code is kind of just, it calls the DB context code of insert semester, so it kind of looks repetitive, but this is the EC layer that was required by the assignment. And it calls these pretty much by name. And then from here on, we can see that these are a lot like my Project 4, because they just call OK semesters and EC. So, yeah. App.js is also very similar to Project 4. The only difference is that I had to create more functions for getting and setting courses and semesters because it wasn't implemented in the last project. Update course is something that I had to implement, and then deleting course and deleting semesters is another thing that I had to implement. And index.html, just, holds the HTML. And so this is actually already running. And what I will show you is my Mongo database is connected to this MongoDB Compass, and it allows you to see what kind of tables you have. And if you refresh it, it'll just show you what's in what. So in my tables, I have course table and semester table. That's because it was already run. So now I'll go through the CRUD operations through the UI. Okay, so create, read, update, and delete. For semesters, to create, you just hit this, okay, and then it will show this button. It doesn't have anything, but if you hit refresh, it'll show up. Yeah. So reading is obviously you can read this. Updating this, I have to click on this and then hit update semester, and then I can just add whatever I want to it and hit OK. And then I'll have to refresh the page just so that it comes back. And then I'll create another semester for the purposes of just random stuff. And then I'm just going to refresh, and all of these things are going to pop up. Okay, so create, read, update, delete. So I'll just show you that I can delete a semester. So if I click on the semester, or you can already delete it just by hitting this X. You just have to refresh the page. So it's gone now. And then courses, you can click on this and then just add a course. So the course is just going to be, these just take in strings, so they could be anything. And then Again, you have to update it. And here you can see the name, the course ID, semester ID, the code, the instructor, enrollment, they all show up. And then to update a course, you have to first select that course, and then you can update it by just doing that. And I'll add another course here. Refresh that. And when it first starts up, it'll actually show all the courses that have ever been entered. But once you select a semester, then it'll limit that view to only the courses in that semester. So I'm just going to delete this one now. And deleting this one will not delete this one because they have different semester IDs, and delete course. So yeah, now if I click back here, there's nothing. And you can see that all happening if you go to course tables. Now it's been like updated. So there's only one, and you can add more. Let's go to here, add a course. And it's there, and it's also in the database if I hit refresh. So yeah, it creates it. So yeah, create course, read course, update the course, and delete the course.